Tisha B'Av. The problem, the flaw, and the solution all under one roof in this lecture. Tell me, if your son goes to the school and some big boy in the class hits him and he comes back home crying, would you tell this son of yours that he's been hit because of his fault or because the big boy is a bully? The Jewish people like to point fingers to themselves. If they make a fist of their hand, it is never to hit somebody else, it's to hit themselves. Ashamnu, bagadnu. So now coming to the story which explains Tisha B'Av. Why was the Beit HaMikdash destroyed? Our sages never pointed and said it was because the Romans, it was because of Nebuchadnezzar, and they looked at ourselves. Because there is nothing to improve on the third party. You can't improve Nebuchadnezzar. You can't improve the Romans. So you have to do what you can, and that is to improve your attributes. Look into ourselves. I am not yet into the solution. This I want to specify the problem. Come to the story. Kamsa bar Kamsa. Kamsa is not even the problem. He was not invited. He is not in the story, but still the story is Kamsa bar Kamsa, as if both of them have a quarrel between them. There was a rich man, and he had given out a party, and his servant invited Bar Kamsa. It was a flaw, it was a mistake, because the boss wanted to order invite Kamsa. Bar Kamsa comes to this party. The rich man is very angry. He wants Bar Kamsa to get out. Bar Kamsa is even ready to pay for the party. But still, he's been insulted and thrown out of the party. He decides to do something. He goes to the Roman Caesar, Tsar, and tells him that the Jews have revolted against, there is a revolt in planning against Rome. The Tsar doesn't believe him, says everything seems so calm and quiet. I don't think you are right. So Bar Kamsa tells him, send an animal for sacrifice and you will see that it will be rejected in the holy temple. So the Tsar said, okay, take this responsibility, take an animal, go and make a sacrifice in my name. So Bar Kamsa takes this animal and he causes a blemish in this animal, which is a blemish according to the ruling Sanhedrin. They will realize, but according to the Romans, it has no issue. Something to do with a cut in the lips. This is what he does. Now when he comes, Bar Kamsa comes to the temple with the sacrifice from the Tsar. The Sanhedrin immediately find the flaw. They have a discussion and they say, we know that this Bar Kamsa is up to something. So let us do the sacrifice and get away with it. There was one Rabbi Zachariah ben Avkelus. He went against everybody and said, if such a flawed animal is sacrificed, then people will start bringing flawed animals to sacrifice. They will think that it is all right. So the Sanhedrin said, then let's kill Bar Kamsa. So the issue, the story will not go out from this temple back to the Tsar. To this, once again, Rabbi Zachariah ben Avkelus, he went against and he said, for bringing a flawed animal, you can't give a death sentence. Rabbi Yochanan said that the rich man or Bar Kamsa, they were not so important players and not so importantly responsible for the destruction of the temple as much as Rabbi Zachariah ben Avkelus. He puts the responsibility on this rabbi, saying he did not have a foresight. He did not know the repercussions of his decision. He took a decision and his decision caused the destruction of the Beth HaMikdash, not Kamsa. Kamsa is not even in the story. Not the rich man, not Bar Kamsa. What is the word Kamsa? Kamsa is a fist. Bar Kamsa is the other fist. These small issues which turn into quarrels, you don't know the repercussions of these small issues in life. They are the reason behind the big destruction, like the destruction of the Beth HaMikdash. Another story. Now this was the problem, right? So we have described the problem. Let me tell you another story. These stories, they are allowed to be told on Tisha B'Av. Rabbi Yehuda bar Eli, he had a glow on his face. When he came to Rabbi Tarfon, his teacher asked him, did you eat teradim? These are like tulips or something. Later on, somebody else met him, a Roman noblewoman. And she said, Rabbi Yehuda, you have this glow. Are you drunk? Later on, somebody else also met this Rabbi Yehuda, saw the glow on his face, and he was a Sidducee. So the Sidducee asked him, by seeing the glow on your face, you either loan money for interest or you raise pigs. Because these two professions were too easy, making a lot of money, that made people rich and glowing. Easy work. From this story, we see that every person came up with a different reason, with a different idea why the face was glowing. And Rabbi Yehuda, he had a reason. He had his own reason. He said, maybe it's because of my difficult Torah study that I'm getting a glow on my face. So everybody is coming up with one reason, and which is different from each another. So the rabbis say, Each one comes up with a reason which mirrors his own deep character. He sees what he is. It's like a mirror. A tzaddik will see somebody else and will have a feeling that he is a tzaddik. A person who is full of goodness will see goodness in everybody he will see. A person who is crooked will see everybody else like crooked. A person who is a miser will see everybody is a miser. In fact, everybody is looking at the world and experiencing a mirror image of himself. This is what this small Agada is telling us. So going back to the story of the spies from the Tanakh, from the Bible, the spies who were free from Egypt came to Mount Sinai, got the great experience of Mount Sinai, and when the leaders, 12 leaders, went into Israel to spy the place and come back and give their report, they gave a report like this. They said, it's a beautiful place, built cities, great fruit, and people are huge, and we were like locusts, insects in their eyes. How can we win? What was going on? Based on their experience of slavery in Egypt, that was a city. There were people, and their experience of a city with people was slavery. They saw themselves as slaves. Now, this memory of theirs is interfering with their work of a spy. As soon as they see walled city in Israel, immediately they connect to their memory, and their memory tells them, if there is a big city and if there are huge people, I am a slave. How could you imagine what you looked like in the eyes of the Canaanites? Because of their experience. We think as per our experience. In my experience, if I am a slave, I will look and make up my truth. Whatever I am seeing, this is true. They came back with truth. They did not say any lies. They were saying the truth. But this truth is not in synchronized with God's absolute truth. This is what we have to do. We have to develop an understanding of understanding the real truth, not the truth which is based on my experience. That was the flaw. The Torah teaches us absolute truth. When Moshe says, go and kill the Midianites and don't come back with anybody, and people come back with their women and children, because for these people it's morality. Morality teaches them that women and children you don't kill. And it is not synchronized with the absolute truth when God says do it. When Shaul HaMelech, King Saul, he came back when he was being told to destroy Amalek. He comes back with the Amalek king alive because he sees a king and he cannot kill him because he is a king. By killing a king, he would have been destroying his image somewhere in his mind. He had to be in synchronization with the absolute truth. God knew better. Amalek's son will kill your Jewish people. So each one thinking in his fashion is not the absolute truth. Let me tell you another story, and this will give a solution, final solution. There were two rabbis. They met one another, and one rabbi tells the other, you know, my synagogue, few people come to the synagogue. Last year we had hundreds of people coming. Now we have in 50s, and it's reducing. The number is reducing day by day. The second rabbi told the first rabbi, how can I give you an advice? I don't even find a small minyan. We are always in search of a minyan, and you are asking me. But I see something. You know, one of the person in your synagogue, I don't know if he is a congregant, if he attends sometimes or on a regular basis, or might be he is doing some kind of low job in your Bet Knesset. This person has the potential to be the Mashiach. And they left. The second rabbi had found a solution for the first rabbi's problem without telling him. I don't know if the first rabbi realized that that was his problem. When you treat people with respect, now because he is going to find a potential Mashiach among the congregants, he's going to treat them, and once he starts treating them right, people will come back in numbers. And this is our solution. Why don't each and every Jew, remember today we don't know who is from Levi, who is from Kohen. We ourselves say sometimes we are Kohen, Yehuda. We don't know. Why don't we start treating everybody? In fact, we start treating everyone we see as a potential Mashiach. Then don't come up with reasoning that she is a woman, he is a non-Jew, he is black, he is white. And why don't come up with those reasons? Because if you start looking at others and treating them right, you have solved your problem and the problem of the world. Because you will do it. I know you will do it. Why? Because remember the story. If you are the potential Mashiach, you will see a potential Mashiach in. That is the solution. If you, in your weirdest dream, think that you are the potential Mashiach of this generation, you are going to treat every person, Jew, non-Jew, man, because this is your internal truth. When we go to pray in the synagogue, while praying, one of the most important things we are doing is we are changing our improving, we are polishing our attributes. And I think this Tisha B'Av, there is nothing more important than understanding that you may be the potential of Mashiach for this generation, and treat others in the same way, because the world is your mirror. Thanks.